back to Anime Yoshi. Today we're going to be talking about Netflix's latest anime, Beastars. So this is a really interesting anime. I heard about this anime for the first time on another anime review channel called Get in the Robot, and it just somehow kind of started populating in my YouTube search videos, and so I watched a really interesting clip, and then before I knew it, I ended up starting watching the anime, and then before the night was over, I watched the whole first season. So I will say I definitely was in the grasp of this anime from the moment that I laid eyes on it. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you watch it, but it is something completely, I won't say completely, but just because it deals with animals, like anthropomorphic animals, it feels rather different from the typical anime that I watch, including the style. The art is also different. So, with that being said, let me tell you a little bit more about the crazy animal world of Beastars. So, in a world populated by anthropomorphic animals, herbivores and carnivores coexist with each other. Oh, isn't that so nice? For the adolescents of Cherryton Academy, school life is filled with hope, romance, distress, and uneasiness. The main character is Legoshi the Grey Wolf, a member of the drama club. Despite his menacing appearance, he has a very gentle heart. Throughout most of his life, he has always been an object of fear and hatred by other animals, and he's been quite accustomed to that lifestyle. But soon he finds himself becoming more involved with his fellow classmates who have their own share of insecurities, and finds his life in school changing slowly.
Is there a problem here?
So, very much like a high school anime, we are dealing with adolescents kind of going through their time in high school and learning themselves and learning how to deal with others and exploring their sexualities, etc., etc., etc. Right? However, we are dealing with this in a world of cohabitating, and coexisting carnivores and herbivores. So this world has this agreement, this mutual understanding between the species regarding how they will deal with food, eating, education, and I guess also to some extent the mixing of species and interspecies relationships. Yeah, it gets there. So, yeah, we are in this high school and the world is kind of new, right? The people in the society, or the animals in the society, are transferring over to living this new type of life. So carnivores are still not completely used to being without meat. And so that causes some tension, obviously, since the meat that carnivores eat are the herbivores, the prey. And so it definitely causes some tension between the herbivores and the carnivores. And so there's kind of like this species or race war, if you will, between the carnivores and the herbivores, because the herbivores are just scared of the carnivores due to, well, legitimate reasons. And the carnivores don't want to be feared, but they also don't want to have to suppress their urges. And so there's a lot of discussion about that. You can think of, I think, many possible metaphors for them to exist in this anime, or for it to be exploring and to be commentary on a number of probably different social issues, such as maybe veganism and vegetarian, diets and lifestyles, as well as just how to, treat each other, how to deal with historical trauma. There's just a lot that I think that they kind of explore in this really strange world of animals who are trying to go beyond their instincts, right? That's the whole thing. They're trying to go beyond their instincts and to make a world that is just and fair for everyone. And I think it's kind of interesting and beautiful in that respect, and that's what makes it a really great anime, because it has a very deep storyline, very complex characters that just really make you like them and want to learn more about their sort of advancement. But then you are also just enveloped in kind of the world of Beastars, because not all of the workings of the world are introduced at the beginning of the anime or in the first season. And so hopefully we'll get more information of that in the second season. There's also a manga, but I have not read the manga. I'm not sure if I will begin reading the manga, so I think I'm just gonna wait for season 2 in 2021. But yeah, So let's get into the main characters. So as stated before, Legoshi is the main character of Beastars. Legoshi is a soft-spoken, humble, and polite gray wolf with a kind heart and gentle personality, which contrasts with his frightening appearance. He often tries to hide his more terrifying features, such as his fangs, to better acquaint himself with his herbivore peers. Legoshi is very conscious of his own presence and often does what he can to downplay himself. This can be seen in his postures and mannerisms, as he often slouches when standing or sitting. So Legoshi is one of the carnivores who, in this new world where the instincts of carnivores are taboo, are seen as evil, really works hard on suppressing his natural urges, and essentially doing that causes this sort of perpetual depression in the young gray wolf. However, he knows that it's right, and so he feels this sort of tension, right, between his own moral code and his own sort of instinctual initial desires, and it creates, right, this really tense internal dialogue throughout the entire anime. And what makes Legoshi a even more interesting gray wolf in that he is constantly downplaying himself, that he's super gentle and super kind and non-aggressive, is that he's also attracted to a rabbit. Legoshi is a bit of a strange character, and this is where the anime starts to get a little uncomfortable. Okay, so another character we have to explore is Haru. Haru is the only member of the Cheriton Gardening Club and is generally excluded from school due to her sexual promiscuity. Like a white dwarf rabbit, Haru is often treated as a fragile individual by society and wants to be validated as a person, or being, whatever. Haru tends to keep people at a distance, even those like Legoshi, who wants to be closer to her. She feels the relationships will end up being fragile and superficial because of her status as a small herbivore. So, okay, y'all, let me connect these dots, right? So our other main character of Beastars is Haru. My girl Haru is like the Megan Thee Stallion of Beastars. She's the hot girl rabbit, okay, y'all? Because she's like, don't come at me. Your man wanted me. You go ask your man. It's not my problem. It's not mine. Okay, Haru does not have a lot of homegirls. Honestly, she has none because everyone in the school dislikes her because she is known for sleeping around, sleeping with people's boyfriends, kissing people's boyfriends, and things of that sort. And so she is generally excluded from just kind of the whole student body. And when we meet her, she has recently been sleeping with a Harlequin or something rabbit's a boyfriend, which is like an endangered species of rabbit. And so they're like, oh my god, everyone hates her because she's trying to like stop this endangered species couple from having babies and like saving their like species, right? So she's like thought of being this awful woman, this awful herbivore. So she's really looked down upon. However, because the herbivores and carnivores generally don't kind of mix, the gossip also doesn't kind of mix. And so Legoshi, when he first meets Haru, he doesn't know the gossip about her. He just in general kind of becomes intrigued with her, and over time develops a relationship with her. Okay, let me backtrack. You know, a better way of describing Haru and Legoshi's relationship. Here's one. Okay, so the way that Legoshi and Haru come to know each other is that one day Haru, after having just a terrible day because she's been bullied for being, you know, the rabbit Tatiana, she is walking past the theater late at night while Legoshi is standing guard for the drama club. And so, kind of overtaken by her scent and the full moon and just kind of his instincts, he snaps that night. He doesn't really know why, but he just snaps. And he jumps in the darkness and grabs this little dwarf rabbit, and he thinks about devouring her, but he is like stopping himself. And then eventually she like runs away, and he accidentally like scratches her on the way that she runs. And eventually he meets her. And after meeting her, he starts to develop feelings for her. And he's just kind of all types of confused because he thinks he might love her and that he's sexually attracted to her. But then he also like has the desire to naturally devour her. And so this entire internal dialogue that he has, this relationship that he has with Haru is very uncomfortable in the fact that like she is naturally his prey. He definitely wants to take a bite out of her. maybe in multiple ways. And bro's too big for her. Like, so it is a really, it can get uncomfortable. I will just say that. You might, I don't know. You might just not want to watch this around everybody. You know, you might just want to keep it to yourself. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so Beastars, yeah, it's this really interesting anime that just delves deep into really how you know, these species who kind of naturally aren't meant to coexist in harmony can find a way to really coexist in harmony. And while it does have some some awkward, Beastars is a really amazing anime with a different anime art style than I typically am used to. The story is really rich and in depth, and the world just encapsulates you. You really become just invested in seeing how these species who are not meant to coexist in harmony come together and make things work, you know, through all the pain and all the discomfort. And so I really think it's worth watching regardless of the cringy animal sex moments. So that's my recommendation. Go check it out. It's on Netflix. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later. Anime Yoshi.